GrantMe viewers, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Queen's Health Science, one of the most competitive health science programs in Canada, and one of the best programs to set your career path in medicine, or if you want to potentially apply to medical school later. So if you're new to this type of video, we normally go cover everything in a nutshell super quickly, but there are 4 different types of topics we like to talk about, starting with academic, then we talk about admissions, then student life, and finally funding. So jumping right into academics, the first thing I want to talk about are career opportunities for graduate students of Queen's Health Science. So there are 4 main categories that Queen's identified or industries that graduates go into. First is the government/non-government organizations. So this could look like a hospital or a clinic or a non-profit organization such as Doctors Without Borders that graduates work in. The next one is education, so teaching medicine or pursuing an education degree after. And the next one is administration, so working as an administrative role or a management role in a healthcare industry or a healthcare company. And the last one is research. So if any of those career paths interest you, this is the right video to watch and the right program for you to pursue. But if any of those career programs don't interest you at all, just make sure you maybe stay for a little bit more in the video to see what this program is like and see if it's for you. The next thing I want to talk about is an exchange. So Queen's is really known for their exchange program. They have a very popular 3rd-year exchange program where a lot of students go on exchange, and they have 220 exchange partners over 40 countries in the world and 600 exchange students that go study abroad every single year. So talking about courses, there are 6 mandatory courses for Queen's Health Science, and it starts for first, anatomy of the human body, second, social and physical determinants of health and disease, introduction to statistics for the health science, and history and philosophy of health and healthcare, and introductory to pharmacology and human cell physiology. So these are the mandatory courses that all first years need to take in order to move up into 2nd year. Let's talk about how to get into Queen's Health Science and the admission process. So starting with requirements, Queen's wants to have all courses and looks at all courses at the grade 12 level, and this includes a minimum of 80% in English. They look at biology, chemistry, math, and then 2 additional grade 12 courses as an academic elective. So in Ontario, this would be a 4U or 4M course, and outside of Ontario, there's a list on the Queen's website that gives approved academic electives that you can submit to be a part of your admission average. In addition to just your grades, Queen's Health Science is an extremely competitive program, and therefore they've introduced a supplemental application to distinguish excellent students. And this supplemental application comes in 3 questions, and you have to answer 2 of them within 30 days. After these 30 days, you could get a new set of 3 questions again, and you'd have to answer 2. But make sure you just at least write down the 2 questions before the deadline, and these are all 3,000 characters for each question. Now moving on to some admission averages. The admission average is around a low 90, and then the acceptance rate is a whopping 4.2%. Now let's talk about student life, starting off with residence. So Queen's has a variety of different residences that you can choose from, and they work on a lottery system. So you get a day, assigned a day where you can hop on the portal and choose any residence that is still available, and it is a lottery system, so sometimes you might get lucky and you might get first come, first serve, and you can pick any res, or you might get unlucky and you might have to go last where you only have like a certain amount of available residence spots that you can choose from. But with that said, they do have different types of configurations, some single, to double, to triple, and this price ranges from $15,000 to $17,500, and this includes your meal plan credits for residence dine-in halls. But if residence isn't for you, Queens is a very close-knit community where the downtown is just a 10 to 15-minute walk away, and therefore you can choose to live off campus if you really want to do so. So for meal plan, this is already included into your residence plan, but if you want to have live off campus and just want to dine into the halls once in a while, you can buy a flex plan where you just refill as you use. In addition to this, as a residence plan, you have trade meals where you can go to on-campus affiliated restaurants such as Location 21, and you can trade one of your residence meals for another meal at a different restaurant. The social life at Queens is definitely very lively because it's very close knit. You can definitely just walk 10 to 15 minutes away to the downtown, and it's a very nice street with a ton of different restaurants where you can gather with friends, gather with clubs, gather with new people that you meet, and definitely have a great time. In addition to this, they have a ton of cultural events that Queens has itself and a bunch of social events that Queens hosts themselves. So I just left a link down below in the description you can check out to see if any events interest you. But in addition to this, there are a ton of just random social things you can do on campus and meet a ton of friends. You don't need to worry. Literally just eating at the dining halls, you can definitely make new friends, such as at Lenny's, which is one of the most popular dining halls, and Buy and Rise, which is another popular dining hall, where you can just go there and just sit down at a table and you'll definitely make some new friends, so don't worry. Now let's talk about libraries. I want to highlight 3 libraries, but Queens does have more. The first one is the Bracken Health Science Library. I think it's a little bit obvious why I wanted to highlight this because it is exclusive for Queens Health Science. The other 2 libraries I do want to talk about is Douglas Library and Stauffer Library, and these are the 2 most popular libraries on campus, and they're very close to each other. I would say generally the vibe for Douglas is a little bit more quiet and more studious. So if you want to get a lot of productive work done, definitely go to Douglas. Stauffer is just generally more like the biggest main library on campus, and still you can get a ton of productive work done there as well. The Queens community has over 250 clubs, and this is all listed on their AMS website. So I left a link down below. You can check out any clubs that you're interested in. These can go from hobbies to career to even just a social club or cultural club that you can join. I definitely recommend joining clubs because you can make a ton of new friends. Okay, on to the last category, funding. How do you really fund your tuition for Queens Health Science? So starting off to tuition, for domestic tuition, it costs $7,500. This is an average between Ontario students and non-Ontario students in Canada because Ontario students, I think it's a little bit lower, and out of province is slightly higher, but they're very close together, so we just took an average of $7,500. The next thing I want to talk about is international tuition. So this is a little bit more expensive. This comes to around $36,000. With that said, there are scholarships that can kind of cut down a little bit on the cost. There are automatic entrance scholarships that ranges from $1,000 to $5,000 or even more. These are automatic depending on your grades that you apply with. But I want to highlight 2 scholarships that are major admission awards that I definitely recommend applying. So here are a few criteria that comes with applying. You have to be an available Canadian citizen or have a PR card. You have to attend high school in Canada or an international high school. And students in gap year, they're okay. You can also apply to the scholarship. And then recipients will be no longer available for any other merit or entrance-based scholarships. So the 2 scholarships I want to talk about is the Bank of Montreal scholarship, which is awards $40,000 and you need a 90+ average to apply. And the second one is the Chancellor Scholarship, which is $48,000 and you need a 90% plus again to apply. Don't worry if you don't win any scholarships. The last thing I want to talk about is financial aid and bursaries, and Queens does have it. So they have a few programs that you can apply for and see if you qualify for any financial aid. The first one is just the government student financial aid done by the provincial government in Canada, and students are once they apply to that, current students are now eligible to apply for the Queen's General Bursary, which is an application on the website, and it depends on their financial status and your financial background and the need and difference between the tuition cost and let's say like your family income. So just wrapping up this video, thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely hope you guys do great in this application cycle. Queen's Health Science is one of the most competitive programs in Canada and definitely super sought after. So again, best of luck. I know you guys will do great. But one more thing I just want to plug in is that make sure you guys check out the 3-minute quiz that we have in the description below. It can really help you see if you qualify for any scholarships and see if you can apply for any admission support for writing essays in your with your applications. And this is totally free. But with that said, thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.